Hello, my friends. Okay, so Taurus Sun, Taurus rising. This is like a little planetary roundup for August 23rd through 27th, and I want to talk about some things that are happening in the middle of the week. Okay, so basically Mercury is in Virgo in your fifth house, and it has been for a while, a couple of weeks. So Mercury is thinking, writing, communicating, and in Virgo it's facts, analysis, it's details, it's numbers. There is no getting around it. It's very factual, and that is good. We want a fully charged up Mercury in his home, doing all of the best that he can do. And he's in your fifth house. So that's your place of fun, pleasure, what you do out in the world for fun. It can deal with romance and love, sex, and it can also deal with children. So the Mercury there has been strong, good, a lot of insight, a lot of maybe frenetic kind of thinking with like details and stuff like that. It's like it's very analytical. So right now and then into tomorrow, it will Mercury will oppose Neptune in your 11th. So Neptune is not Mercury. Neptune is like this light where you're like, oh, it's so dazzling, it's magical. Yeah, or it could just be the glare or the reflection coming from the door. But in the moment, Neptune doesn't tell you the truth. It tells you what you want to see. It's like this highest, beautiful, kind of glowing thing. It can also show you things that are, it's not showing you what is real. So Neptune could be like, oh my God, everything's perfect and everything's wonderful. Or it could be, oh my God, everything's horrible and this is just the worst ever. It's neither one. When the fog clears, when the light kind of dissipates and it comes back to normal, you can find the truth somewhere in the middle. And that truth is like, it will be, nice to come back to. But just for the next few days, I would not sign on the dotted line with something involving your fifth house of creation, things you do for pleasure, love, romance, or children, and then the 11th house of friends, groups, alliances, or hopes or dreams. Like those, there's something that could be deceptive there along, maybe not evil, but like not truthful. You're not seeing the full picture. You're seeing this beautiful, it's like a watercolor drawing or a painting. It's just like beautiful, but it's distorted and it dissolves what is real. Okay, so but in this time you could do especially with the 5th and 11th, this is really great for having wonderful, beautiful moments with friends, having just making the most of that vibe of beautiful, ethereal, almost like underwater, or poetry, writing, art, dance, music. This is the time for that, especially because your 5th house is what you create, and then the 11th house are the people who consume what you create, or your fans or your friends. So that is all good, and that's good for that. I just wouldn't sign on the dotted line with something that had to do with like math or money or something. Not necessarily money, but just something about details that has to be right. This is not the time to make things exact. It will be blurred. So later in the week on Thursday, Mercury in your 5th of creation, what you do for fun and pleasure, will be trining Pluto in Capricorn in your 9th. And a trine is good, it's supportive, it's great, it's pleasant. Pluto is, I'm going to call this whole thing like lights, camera, action, because if Neptune is the camera where it's like, oh, it's the beautiful glow and we set up the camera just right, Pluto is kind of the light, like not a strobe light, a spotlight of just like bright light shining on a subject, just to be like, okay, this is the full underbelly. We're going to the underpinnings, the bedrock of your psychological state here, of the structure of your 9th house. The 9th house is your belief system in the world, why you believe things. It can be about spirituality, religion, or higher education, possibly gurus or foreign travel. But it's just your belief system in the world. So this is not like this is an exact moment of like, oh, an enlightening moment, but it's not, it's easy because of the trine, but it's not like pleasant and the cotton candy of Neptune. It's more like, we're going to shine a very bright light on this, and you're going to see like a total illumination of it. And it can be very helpful because of this trine. So that's what I am telling people there. Yeah, so that's a very nice, helpful trine there. Now, what we're having here with the Mercury stuff going through is, see, this is like the Neptune. The Mercury stuff going through is all about the realm of the mind, of thinking, of communication. Next week, we're going to have Mars hitting all these spots. So Mars will oppose Neptune and then trine Pluto. So Mars will be like a whole different flavor. Mars is now like saying, okay, this is the action. If this was the lights and camera, Mars is like, I want to do it now. So taking action, your get up and go. So that's what's coming next week with this. So pay attention to what is happening this week with the realm of the mind, of speaking, communicating, because it will be coming back around for like a different echo next week when it's action. And that should be interesting. I'm really interested to see what happens there. So that is what I have for you, and I will be back with more next week, and thank you.